I'm John DeSando.
Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn, soda pop with our friends. Turn off our cell phones and get away. Night or day, it's John DeSando on the radio. We'll watch the credits from up high and low. Cinema Classics on air.
Cinema Classics is produced and hosted by John DeSando. Listen to shows Thursdays at 8 and 1 p.m. on WCBE 90.5 FM. And listen to shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Mary Yerina.
And this is Cinema Classics. Oh, marriage, Mary. You have a wonderful one, and I want to ask you a little bit later about it. But the movie today is small. Would it be accurate to call Midwinter Break a small movie?
Yes.
All right. Tell me why.
It's small in budget, small in cast, and small in genre in this current age in which we're living.
Yes, yes. It's a midwinter break. A couple decides that it's going to take, well, the wife decides that they need to take a vacation in Amsterdam. This is the place to go if you want to be wild. Have you been to Amsterdam?
I have not. I have only heard rumors about how wild Amsterdam can be.
But it is a beautiful, beautiful city.
Beautiful city, and you experience it in a different way in this film because it is a unique film, not only in that it focuses on Jerry and Stella, a mature couple. It portrays them realistically, I think, in terms of what they're dealing with as they age, what they're dealing with within their marriage, but it's also a low budget, no big CGI,
No.
special effects. It's truly a character-driven story about Jerry and Stella, and even in Amsterdam, it's shown in a very restrained, stark,
Yes.
quiet
Yes.
way.
A nice dichotomy between her, played by Leslie Manville, and he is played by Syrian Hines. And let's just say, this movie dies without these two actors.
Well, the casting obviously is critical
I know.
because the entire film is predominantly Jerry and Stella.
Yes.
And even then, I think it's skewed towards the character of Stella, played by Leslie Manville.
Yes, yes. And, you could accuse the film of nothing happening, in terms of drama.
Which is often the case with character-driven films.
Yes, that's right. And where even the pauses seem to be filled with meaning. There could be moments when they don't speak, but many good couples, although you and Bob are both chatterboxes, so I can't imagine.
Bob would be surprised to hear him described that way, but
No,
okay.
I certainly never found him boring and or without words to say. But, good couples like yours don't really have many pauses. But if you do, they're ones that two people who know each other well don't have to say things like that. And I think a little bit of that happens here. But it's a slow development.
It does, and I think because of where we're meeting them in their lives, through early flashbacks, we learn that they're originally from Ireland, and she is shot when she's very pregnant with their child during the Troubles in Belfast.
Yeah, 70s.
And they decide after she survives and their child is born to leave Northern Ireland.
Yes.
And travel to and reside in Glasgow, Scotland, which is where they have lived out their adult lives. But you sense in all the silences and the lack of dialogue that they are living as a married couple, but their relationship is almost non-existent or very
Yes.
strained. And it has to do with the weight that they both have been carrying from that day in Belfast,
Yes.
where she was shot. And they've been medicating themselves over the decades in different ways. He has a problem with alcohol.
Yes.
And she is extremely devout to her
Yes.
Catholic faith, whereas he doesn't appear to have any faith whatsoever. And those elements and their orbiting around each other come to a head in this mini winter break in Amsterdam.
Yeah, and that's a nice contrast between her religiosity and his devotion to his drinking, and we don't get to know much about him other than he's an architect. I mean, the story does not develop him in a way that I would have liked.
I would agree. You don't have a lot of background developed. Even the troubles, it's assumed
Yes.
that you know.
Yes, good point.
And so there's not a lot of time spent either in providing the background of the troubles and this inciting incident that has burdened them and as a result their marriage for decades. And you don't get a lot of background. You meet them where they are today.
Yes, yeah.
Without a lot of information to go on, but you feel the strain in the not only the dialogue, which sometimes moves from, you can tell they've been married couple for a long time and take delight in each other and share a quick laugh or a touch on the shoulder or whatever that may be, but equally, especially in the character of Stella, she can turn on something Jerry said or not said and get very angry very quickly. So there are the silences, there's the dialogue, there's the quick emotion sometimes, and so you're really meeting them where they are, and you're left to ponder, I think, and wonder everything that's brought them to this stage, and quite frankly, whether or not they will survive these revelations that come forward as a result of their traveling to Amsterdam for this weekend.
Yeah, I didn't quite buy the ending.
It's ambiguous.
Yeah, right. Although
Hopeful.
Yes, it is hopeful. I really thought that they were moving toward her. Well, she does say that she wants to get her own flat. Well, they sell their flat and get her own place, but that seems to pass.
Right. She goes through these very reactionary emotions.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're not sure, and he's not sure whether she means it or not.
Yeah. I think director Polly Finley does a really good job. This is her debut.
It is her debut, but she is a very experienced stage director,
Yes.
having done a lot with the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yes, and I appreciate that, and I can just tell how much she appreciates her actors and how she lets this story develop in a kind of a slow burn. Perhaps that is the drama, that we're sitting there saying, okay, what is going to happen to this couple?
Well, it's so restrained, though. It almost feels tedious.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's
There.
so restrained in not only their dialogue and their relationship and seeing them go around Amsterdam, but then Amsterdam's really stripped bare as well. You don't hear the sounds of a big city. They're not dealing with crowds. Almost all of the environment that they're in is just the two of them.
Yes, they do have a sequence where they're going through the red light district.
They do.
Yeah, and I remember when I went there with my buddy Clay. And
Are you going to stop there with
I
telling
know,
your
I
story
know.
about your
Very-
trip there?
We know each other way too well. You know, I'd like to share this in the best PG-13 way possible. But we went to a place, a kind of seedy place, where a couple was doing it, and they were going to be doing it 2 or 3 times a day. I was just astonished at this kind of, I've never seen anything like it before, much less seeing people on the stage doing it, and then to know that these same actors were going. So anyway, yes, it's a wild city, but boy, it has a class about it and a beauty that's really worth going to. You don't have to go through the red light district to appreciate that town.
Well, in fact, we learn while we're there that Stella seeks out finding this very quiet, ancient courtyard where there's a Catholic chapel.
Love this part.
I'm going to mispronounce it. My Danish is poor, but the Beginhof.
Okay.
Beginhof. And it actually is a true place in Amsterdam.
Wonderful.
And her interest in it is that she had heard of it a long time ago as a place where women who want to live a devout Catholic life can go live.
Yes.
And she would like to do that.
Yes.
Because of the burden of the promise she made when she survived and her child survived, that she would turn her life over to God, and feels she has not done that. And so that's part of the ulterior motive as to why she chose Amsterdam
Yes,
and wanted to go there.
And come to find out, the order doesn't exist anymore.
It does not.
And I love that touch because it comes back to them.
Yes.
Even Amsterdam, that wild city, is not going to make the difference in their own lives.
No.
And this seems to be the dramatic high points. And his going to the bar and talking to the bartender and reliving his life in some ways with the bartender. It's nice to see him in his element, which is still his excess drinking. But each one of them gets into almost the element, but it does not solve them at all.
It doesn't. It improves, I think that's a universal human truth. Changing geography does not unburden you of whatever is troubling you on the inside. Yeah. And they both have carried the weight of what happened and their decision to leave Ireland for decades now. And they just medicate in a different way. And that comes to a head, I think, where they actually start at least talking to each other about how they're feeling as human beings as a result of that and the life that they have lived as a result of all that.
Well, Mary Yerina, our audience needs to go to our podcast, which in this case is Double Take. And when are they going to hear more? We're very much like the movie. We've moved at a slow pace so that we have more to come. Well, I think that we'll have more drama than they had in this movie.
Potentially.
Right, potentially. So it's called Midwinter Break, and we'll maybe explore the double entendre with break there. Mary, what do you suggest? Where you see, do we look at this online? Is that? No, we had to go.
You have to go to the theater to see this right now. It actually was released in the United States before its release in the UK, which is later this week. But in this sea of modern films geared towards a much younger audience with a lot of special effects, this is a unique film with two really stellar actors. And although it's a flawed film, if you are seeking out a fairly accurate story about mature adults and romance and marriage, then I think it's definitely worth a peek.
Yeah. Midwinter Break. I'm John DeSando.
Cinema, 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 cinema. Classics, let's go to the movies and share some popcorn.